You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here for Drakewing Gaming, and some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Sparks, A Tale of Ink. So yeah, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel and get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. He could not get used to it at all. Hello there, Gale. It's good to see that you found us this early. It is not hard to find you. Have you slept well despite me taking off with your discovery? Zhangkin didn't answer. His nights were generally plagued by nightmares, even when his days were eventful. Additionally, he fell asleep immediately when returning from the library, despite his excitement to sink into books once again. He left his friend with a grunt. Caleb just showed me how to cheat at card games, though I don't quite understand his methods. Oh, come on now. Oh, come now. Calling it cheating is hardly fair. I simply have a system. Is that why I get complaints from other professors that it is no fun to play against you on regular recreational occasions? Because you simply win with your system. I might have to ban you from participating in the future if you cannot control yourself. I'll think about it. Like you promised to think about not disappearing from one day to the next for investigative purposes, as you called them. There's nothing more important than discovering the secrets of the past. Except for the contract that you signed, I would say. Leaving a non-approved ledger for me to sign is not the proper way to handle the situation either. But speaking of secrets of the past, Gale put the two sodites on the table. They still looked the same as yesterday. Zhangkin trusted that Gale had not tampered with them. Have you seen these before, perchance? A booming laugh escaped Caleb after the question. It took a few moments for the man to calm down and dry his eyes as he teared up as if he heard the funniest joke ever told. Well... Oh! You're serious? Gale, I might be involved in the whole process of getting more sodites into the Academy, but I can't identify them. Why not just simply activate them? Because they might be rigged. A trap could be triggered for those that... Gale was abruptly stopped as Caleb had already pulled out a bottle of ink from one of his pockets. You would not act before thinking this through. Caleb let a single droplet of ink touch one of the sodites, and Gale's eyes grew wide. For a moment, nothing happened, so Caleb took the gem in his paw and touched it against multiple surfaces. Stone, cloth, metal. None reacted to the stone. Until he touched it against the book, Zhangkin stopped reading. On contact, the page grazed by the stone disappeared into thin air. Aha! It absorbs paper, with information on it, I'd assume. So it is likely that... He once again reached into his pocket and pulled out a thin string of metal and put the two stones into contact. What is it you are doing now? While praise is divine gift, sodite systems are still a mystery to me. I am connecting them with Vea metal to have them react in tandem. As you found them in a pair, it is likely that this one stone can absorb paper, while the other one can bring it forth. Two halves of one redistribution spark. But it looks like they are meant for much smaller objects. The drip of the ink is not causing a chain reaction into a loop. There you go. Water time. Alright, y'all, and we are back. Let's get back into it, shall we? Alright. So, he took the ink he was holding previously and activated the second gemstone. It immediately spit out a larger piece of paper, followed by the page that had just been absorbed. Well, at least that means there's nothing else inside. Oh, excuse me. How can you be certain? Sodites can't decide what they want to redistribute. A sparker can, but if you feed something into one sodite, it will be... at the bottom. Like if you stack papers and put new paper on top. If you want to reach the one at the bottom, you would have to remove the ones above first. Intriguing. Can this be somehow used to one's advantage? Mostly to store perishables, but enough theory. Let's see what the next step of our little mystery unfolds. The paper that emerged was rolled up and a little bigger than an average book. Caleb unrolled it and uncovered a map of the Flatlands. Curious. Sorry, y'all, it's late. Who would make it this complicated just to hide a map that can be found in every good household? No, that's not it. Look closer. Here. He pointed at the capital by the mountains and the shore to the northeast. Is it smaller? He noticed how some of the rivers that were partially in the city nowadays were still running free after springing from the mountains of Stir. Is this an older map then? But why hide something like this? His eyes scanned the map for any useful hints. Caleb began analyzing the sizes of the forests and rivers as well as the lack of towns on the map. Only some crude mercantile routes that didn't end anywhere were present on the map. Is there a reason for that? The region itself was properly divided. Sovereign's dominance on the right, Twistwood's much smaller dominance to the left, leaving some space at the top for the shorelands. Was this just all there? Was this just all there was? A map of an older version of the flatlands before the capital began expanding as much as it was currently. No. The writing! It's the same! He took out the note that started the search and compared them. The handwriting on the map and used writing ink were exactly the same as on the note. That at least confirms a connection between the hint and our discovery, and that we did not merely find a student's secret art project. Was there not more on the note? Something about a location? Yes, right at the Et. Does any location come to mind that starts with Et? Both Caleb and Gale fell silent, thinking on the question, until Zhangkin himself remembered something from his home. The legend of the Eternal Grove that was supposedly close to Salai. Perhaps? He focused on the location on the map, where his hometown was. One of smiths and craftsmen, candles, jewelry, and even preserved baked goods were sold directly to the bigger cities from here. He brushed over the location and forgot the fat that was still on his fingers. To his surprise, the smear also revealed letters. Wait, look! Oh, you touched it with your greasy fingers. You're well on your way to becoming a real archaeologist that destroys any historical evidence with a single moment lacking precaution. No! Look! He pointed at the lines he revealed and smeared more grease onto the map, revealing more writing. Clicking out. Water time. An old fortress awaits the truth of origin. Oh, it's the rest of the sentence. Right at the eternal fortress awaits the truth of origin, a truth of two and two slumbers, fly with haste. Their love is a cataclysm, raring to be unleashed. It's a lot. What could it even mean? Perhaps some sort of misdirection, an attempt to make us suspicious of something. While the two were lost in thought, mulling over the discovery, Caleb started shaking, attempting to look collected. He tried taking a sip from his tankard, but spilled most of the contents onto the floor. My good friends, what we found here is the reason. The reason? What for? To finally set out and get an expedition going into the great unknown mystery of the ruins that aren't ruined. I beg your pardon? It is hard to explain, but this particular set of ruins has eluded researchers for decades. For years and years, every request to search them has been denied. How come? No one knows. As the Academy has dominance over it, they never allowed anyone to get there. And people who went there without any permission never returned without a trace? What? I thought you turned this mystery into something even more lethal. No, they all just returned empty-handed, but none of them wanted to tell the organization why. All we know is that the fortress ruins are in very good condition considering they're supposed to be, well, ruined. But the map does not tell us anything. If you were to go now, you might as well return empty-handed, no? What makes you think you shall be different? Let alone attain permission to scour the place to begin with. No, my dear Professor Twistwood, this is where you are wrong indeed. For this occasion, we have fate on our side. Fate? I would not have thought a scholar such as yourself to believe in such an abstract concept. And yet, did our friend here not find the clue to this location by luck, guided by the hand of fate? I would say it was the fruit of determined research that brought us here. If it was by design of a higher power, wouldn't that mean it is predestined for us to head there anyways? Do not mock me. If you wish me to believe that you were sent on some mission designed by fate, then so be it. But you cannot coerce me into following your tomfoolery. I never have and never will force you to come along on my expeditions riddled with tomfoolery, good Professor Twistwood. If Zhangkin here is like-minded, I can secure us a guaranteed permit to investigate. Caleb put his hand in one of his pockets and took out a small stack of papers. I shall fill out the necessary paperwork to apply for an expedition inside of the Academy's domain. Considering my current track record, I would almost say it is guaranteed. Gale, would you be so good as to review them and hand them out to either of the headmasters once I am done so Zhangkin and I can take the trip as soon as possible? I'm thinking about leaving on the morrow, actually. Wait. On the morrow? To a set of ruins that were not allowed to be investigated? Second now. Water time. Oh yes, delicious. Delicious apple water. What do you think is different this time? We have proof. We have a string of clues connected to the ancient diaries of the king. This simply cannot be a coincidence. Thus, with you wanting to earn your place among scholars, would it be a prime chance to finally get your name known in the world of historians? Yes, but I have to decide if I... No room to be indecisive. The root of discovery lies in the risks we take. The month of rays is starting up tomorrow, and my bones are itching for another dive into a set of ruins, especially ones that are this elusive. Sure. I don't know. I think I should be doing something here. I'm sure something will spring to your mind soon. And by soon, I mean in the next few moments. If we want to accelerate the journey, we could... Oh, I guess I could ask a merchant for a ride. With Soleil being one of the biggest export towns in the Twistwood dominance, people are bound to drive there. Or at least the general area. You always just jump onto them at a moment's notice, don't you? Sounds like a fine idea. Though it might seem daunting at first, this is good. Practical experience. You really just have to ask about the destination. Perhaps also haggle with the price a little. I will request some additional funds for the carriage and supplies. Surely the good Professor Twistwood will help us step into the good spirits of the headmasters, correct? Excuse me. Gale's breathing had become slightly more agitated as they listened to more of the conversation, but not a single inch on their face moved. I do not think we have any semblance of a chance to get you out of this. Better to entertain those delusions and play along. Just relay the information of the money you need, if any of the merchants are mad enough to go along with this unplanned lunacy. If you would be so good, Zhangkin, I will try my best and see to it. An order's name. Gale muttered to themselves as they grabbed their emptied cup and marched away, shaking their head. Caleb, on the other hand, was already writing on a piece of parchment. The request for an expedition to the Academy, he assumed at this time, as this time his goal was lying in the Flatlands itself. Between Caleb's excitement and Gale's disinterest to participate, he was unsure which side to take, as he was being roped right into this strange development. A discovery, thanks to him, in a place of interest to scholars for ages. Perhaps things would work out. Perhaps things would be good. Things were bad. Things were horrible. With a shimmer of enthusiasm, Zhangkin left the academy, only to realize with his very first step that it was still raining, as the month dictated to his dismay. Oh God. The first step was cautious, glimmering hope yet living within his soul that the experience would not be a horrid one. Every step thereafter was pure misery. The brick path from the academy down to the gate town was grueling and long in the eye of the fact that he had to find as many shelters from the assaulting rain droplets as possible, while also dodging streams of water that formed in the gutters. It's like, no, water time. Okay. That is some delicious water. Hint. That is the name of the water. Streets were constructed in such a way that all the rainwater would drain into a moat. That then would evenly distribute the water to the surrounding fields or even into underground reservoirs. There it would be refined and could be pumped by those living in and around the academy thanks to sodite systems. The idea was refined from building plans that stemmed from before the Ascension, and the modified application would be fascinating to Zhangkin if he didn't have to witness the source of it all in the flesh. After passing rows and rows of dormitory buildings down the street, zigzagging downwards and dodging those that actually had the foresight to bring any kind of protection from the rain, they had no help to offer, only pitiful stares at best. As he finally arrived at the market, the water that had crept into his boots made every step on the damp fur a sensation he could have lived without, craving the warmth of his blankets in the hearth. Yet the hardest ordeal had not yet been won. On the marvelous square that housed the market, he was happy enough that his clothes and fur were not yet fully soaked. Luckily, he also paid attention to shield the bandages on his eye. His gaze wandered around. Colorful tents and wagons were strewn along the streets of cobblestone. Some were even still inviting those who braved the final moments of rain. The edifice in the middle did not entice anyone to spare it more than a single look, and instead simply served as a reminder to everyone who gazed upon it. Starting on the morrow, it would once again gather crowds. The staff... Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. I'm tired, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and head out. Alright, anyway, I love you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you to all our patrons. Bye-bye!